Hi, and welcome to the Passion Project. I'm your host, Coach Richard Bacon, and today I have the Lady Eagles girls basketball players, and well, not the whole team, but two of their players, seniors, and their head coach, Coach Andrea Robinson. Coach Robinson, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, Coach, thank you for having us on your show today. So, Coach, I've been coaching over 20 years.
Okay.
DeSoto is actually my third head job. So I've been there for, I think, going into my 8th year.
Okay.
I am married, interestingly, to a coach, which makes my life extremely interesting. I'm married to a football coach.
Okay.
I have 3 sons. My first son actually played football at DeSoto and actually won the first state championship there at DeSoto. Played
2016?
2016 on that football team. So he graduated from DeSoto. And then I have a set of twins who also attended there for a while. And one of them is actually at Boston College now, and one's at Midwestern State. So I am an empty nester right now, enjoying life and just kind of coaching, finishing up my coaching career there at DeSoto High School. So
Empty nesting ain't bad.
I know, right? I'm enjoying it. Yeah. So that's a little bit of my life, a little bit in a nutshell.
Okay, we're going to get into some more of that in a minute. Let's meet these young ladies that represent the Lady Eagles. To my right, I have...
Hi, I'm Nisa Muhammad. I'm 5'10". I played a guard position and I'm class of 2024.
Class of 2024. Okay, senior.
Hi, I'm Malaysia Smith. I'm 5'6". I play shooting guard and I'm class of 2024.
All right, well, welcome everybody to the show. Let me start with Coach for a minute here. So, Coach, you say you've been at DeSoto about 8 years. Took the program over. Do you remember the calendar year of that? Would that be like 2016 or something?
Yeah, yes.
Like
the 2016 year.
Because see, what I want to do is I want to make sure that we talk about your greatness since you've been at DeSoto. Yeah. So you've been there 8 years.
Yes.
Started in 16, and you had a group of girls come in. Probably, not probably, but a coach's dream in 2018.
We did, yes.
In 2018, you had a group of freshmen come in, and it was a bunch of them. And I knew about them, Coach, before I even started following DeSoto girls basketball because I was coaching at Richland at the time.
Right.
And y'all met Richland in the regional semifinals, I think. And I came to the game because I was supporting our girls coach.
Right.
And all I remember from back then was everybody talking about, and they all freshmen.
Right. Yeah.
How was it, Coach, having a group of that many girls in that same class that was that talented?
Yeah, so it was great. So we did know when we came in and took the job, I did not know about those freshmen, but the minute that we stepped foot there, that's all we heard about. At that time, they were in the middle school. They were at McCowan Middle School. And so that was one of the first things that I did. I went over to the middle school and got in the hallways, and we were able to meet. And the first 2 kids that I encountered that I met was Tiana Heron in the hallway, and her sister, Amina Muhammad, were the first 2 players that I actually met and got a chance to sit down and talk with when we first got the job. I think they were in the 7th grade then. And then I got a chance to meet Michaela Gatewood. And so we got in and built a relationship and rapport with those kids and followed them from the 7th grade, I think, on in. And then we were able to coach them as they transferred in to 9th grade.
Right.
So, but we didn't know about those kids until we, got there.
Right.
But yeah, it was great coaching.
Well, that was a great.
Yeah, because they were winning games. I think at that point in middle school, they were putting up 100 points on kids. Yeah, so it was pretty exciting. We would go to middle school games, and they would have to almost cancel games because they were able to score so easily, putting up so many points.
So I got the job during the COVID year 2020, the spring of 2020, going into the summer. And that's all I heard about was that girl. Boy, you got to see them girls. So now we're talking about 2 years removed. Now they're like sophomores or juniors now. I think they were juniors when I got there. Juniors. And tell me what happened that junior year. What did they do? Did they just like win district, or did they go a little bit further than that?
No, their junior year, I think that was the year we won our first state championship.
Okay, let's talk about that's what
I'm
saying.
That was the year that we actually won our first state championship.
With the same little middle schoolers that were putting 100 up on people in middle school.
Exactly, and I remember they used to come to all our camps, and I remember we were sitting them down, Coach Krill and I, at the camp, and we would take them outside to look at the because Coach Dyer has when you drive up to our school, you have all the years of the state champions are posted outside of our school. And I remember pointing to that, and we would dream about one day being able to put a girls' side up there in the year of them winning. And they were, we were looking at that and dreaming about that, wanting to make that come to pass. Remember when they were little, just coming to our camp. And that year, they made that come to pass. So it was pretty exciting.
And then now I'm into my second year at the Soto. I think it was my second year, maybe. And y'all win it again. Y'all just wasn't finished when they were juniors, right?
They did. That group was able to go back to back, make history. Phenomenal. It was extremely difficult to do, but they were able to do that.
People don't understand how hard that is to do.
Yeah, it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of hard work.
But let's go back to middle school again. When they were in middle school, they started with that vision, right?
They did.
And then they
started at camp.
And they worked their way all the way on through high school and won 2 state titles. And one of the other things, I think you had maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but 7 Division I players?
It was 7 Division I players that come out of that group. And they had to learn to play with each other. And the biggest thing about that group, they had to learn to sacrifice for each other. Because any one of those kids could play, and could be on the floor and play and score and do phenomenal things. But they had to kind of learn to share and sacrifice for each other. And that's always something I remember about that group. But yeah, 7 Division I kids.
Coach, can you name some of the schools that those kids are playing
Oh, yeah.
right
We used
now?
to do a roll call all the time with that group. Yeah, we have SMU, Ole Miss, Texas, LSU. We had one to win a national championship.
Last year at LSU.
Yep, LSU. Oh, man. Kansas State. 2 of them went to Kansas State. And then Kentucky. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, special group.
And our girl that played at LSU doesn't even know this, but I was at the championship game too.
Wow.
I got invited because I guess I had just got back from the McDonald's game.
Yes.
And somebody invited me to watch the game in the suite. So I've taken all kinds of pictures.
Coach.
And she's really good friends with my daughter. They stay in touch right now. So when I want to know something about what's going on down there, I just ask Adriana and she'll tell me and get the information, because she tried to talk us into, Adriana's birthday is Super Bowl Sunday. And she wanted to go to, she's already looked at the LSU schedule. She has a friend that's going to school down there, and they were going to try to go down there to spend her birthday and go to a game.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's how much these Eagles stick together.
Yeah, no, they do. We were able to get to that game. So it was exciting to watch her win on just multiple levels, to see her, win back-to-back state championship, and then go and win her freshman year a national championship.
And then her junior year, wasn't she the state MVP?
She was.
Okay.
Yep. And then in doing that with, she dealt with an ACL injury her sophomore year. She had to battle from that, get through that adversity, and then come back and win 2 back-to-back state championships.
So when you talk about winning back-to-back, it's not just the fact that you got to put teams out there against teams. It's other stuff that you have to put up with.
Absolutely.
And
That
you
team
had a
went
lot.
through a
You had a
lot.
lot of injuries.
Oh my gosh, we had a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries. Absolutely, yeah. They had to battle a lot. It's a tough group.
Because I remember that first state title, when I was talking to you about it, I said, well, Coach, you going to go on down there and win one? She said, Coach, I don't know, that other team got these 2 little guards.
What?
But y'all took them out.
I mean, easier said. Yeah,
But y'all took them out, Coach. That's contributing to you and your game plan.
Well, and the kids executing, and actually we were literally just talking about that today when we were watching film about just the discipline of executing and following, a game plan. That's a big part of winning championships. That group was smart and they were able to execute a lot of things. Those 2 kids were probably some of the 2 best high school kids in the country. We can look at Roy Harmon right now. She's amazing on the college level, but to play 2 McDonald Americans and to do that, absolutely,
Right.
yeah.
I remember you telling me, she said, Coach,
I think we talked about that in your office.
Yeah,
Yes, trying to figure out ways to stop them.
I said, Coach, you're going to be fine. Coach, they got 2 All-Americans. I'm like, what?
Yes.
They that good? And then when I saw them, I'm like, okay.
And when you watch that kid at Texas play now, I could see why I was in that office talking about it that day. So it was a problem.
Right. But you handled it. You might want to send your plan over to the Dallas Cowboys, that execution of game plans and stuff.
My husband wouldn't like that comment
Oh
much.
my gosh! I was
We're
watching.
huge Cowboy fans.
I am too. I'm a diehard. That's why I'm so upset. I was watching First Take this morning and Get Up, And that's basically
Yeah.
what they were talking about. I think the difference is with them, and I'm sorry getting off on the subject here, but the culture, and the reason why I want to do that is because you have built such a great culture at DeSoto.
Yeah.
The girls not only want to put on that Eagle jersey, they look forward to coming and playing for you.
Yeah.
And it started all the way back in 2016. That's why I wanted to put a date on it.
Yeah.
2016, you was out there, they say you reap what you sow. You was out there sowing seeds.
Yeah.
Now you got to go water it. You just can't sow
Yeah.
them. You got to water it, nurture them, like in the hallways, saying hello, making sure
Yeah.
they knew, the person that they admire so much they can also touch.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think
No,
that's
it
real.
is.
I think
Yeah.
that's real important.
Yeah. But, we had to get buy-in from the kids, and they were able to buy into the vision and what we wanted. And so, I mean, they definitely contributed to what we have.
Okay, Coach, I got one more question for you right now, and then I'm going to get over and talk to these,
Oh yeah,
to
can't
these
wait for
wonderful
this.
young ladies.
Yes.
It said, I have a question. So, not only have your teams been ranked in the top 10 in the state, but you've also been ranked nationally.
Yeah.
What do you think contributed to your rise and your power ranking? What helped? Because for a long time, Texas basketball has always was underrated. And now all of a sudden, you got these Texas teams that are ranked in the country. What do you think made it happen for you?
I think the game is changing, and I think the national schedule, just being able to get out and compete against teams nationally, putting the best in the country on your schedule, and then going head to head with them, and being able to compete and beat some of the best teams in the country has been the reason why we've been able to do that. So,
And you got the right form. I'm gonna tell you, back in the 1900s, when I first won my first state championship at Lincoln in 1990, I had to call a guy by the name of Dave Kreider, and I've talked about this on my shows before. He was the writer for the USA Today Top 25.
the USA Today was big back during that time.
Right.
I
And
remember
so
that.
I would pull up, I'd go get that paper every Tuesday, look at the
Yes.
top 25 in the
Yes.
country, and there was no Texas teams.
I
and
remember that, Coach.
So I looked on that list one time, Coach, I promise you. It was 18 of the 25 teams were all within 400 miles of each other
Yep.
on the East Coast. And then you had one sprinkled here in California, or one in Kansas. You had nobody in Texas. So I called him. I said, hey, man, what we got to do
Yep.
to get these Texas teams ranked? Because not just my team, but there's some other teams around here that are really
Right.
good. He said, well, Coach, you got to play a national schedule.
Yep.
I said, well, what do you mean by that? He said, you got to go play some of these teams. I said, well, they got an advantage because they within 400 miles. They could play all the time, and we would have to travel. He said, go some of those tournaments. So I started taking, and that's when I started traveling with my Lincoln teams. And, we went out to California one year and played in a tournament that had Long Beach Poly and some of them other schools that was ranked above us. We went out there and won it.
Right.
And we went to number 9 in the nation.
Yep.
And when we left Texas going out there, I think we were like number 15. Then we ended up being number 9.
Wow.
And then we came back home, played in the Dr. Pepper tournament, which is what it was called back
Yeah,
then.
it's big.
And we lost to Kimball in the finals. And that week, 6 teams ahead of us lost. We could have moved up into the top 5. And that one loss kept us, they moved us back to 12. And we stayed around the 10 to 12 range.
Yeah.
But you're right on par, Coach. If you want your team ranked national, you got to play some of them teams, and you got to go beat them.
Yep.
And you've done both.
Yep. We're trying.
So
we're trying.
So if anybody wonders why we out here fundraising, trying to get this money.
So, Coach, now that we do, that's a whole nother show. We can put on a clinic on fundraising, Coach.
Right. All right, let's talk to these young ladies. First, let's start with yesterday. The show doesn't come on until Monday, but yesterday, so we talking a week ago when the show comes on, we had National Signing Day here in Texas. And both of my seniors up here signed. Tell me who you signed with and why.
I'm signed with Old Dominion because when I went on my visit, I really enjoyed it. It was very team, they were really like a family. And I really liked that about it. That was what really.
A lot of history at Old Dominion too.
Yeah.
A lot of great people.
Yeah, they
played.
showed me.
Yeah, a lot of history. I remember Old Dominion girls basketball way back in the 1900s when they were really good too. You're gonna go make them better, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And Malaysia?
I signed with Tarleton State. And the reason why I did, because first, they're really high in my major, and I want to be a veterinarian when I grow up. So
Okay.
that's what I'm
You're not
pushing
grown
for.
up yet?
No,
still
she's
grown?
not grown up yet.
I don't pay no bills.
No, she does not. That's thank you. Yes, phrased very well.
And another reason why I signed there is because the school spirit atmosphere is what I always wanted. And everybody shows up to the games, they cheer no matter what. Like, at the end of the day, the whole campus, your team, your coaches, your principal, they always got your back. They always gonna push you further than what you wanna be. And I wanna make the program great and go to a higher level.
Yeah.
I think Malaysia was the first girl basketball player I ever met when I came to DeSoto. And do you
That
remember
surprised
this?
me.
And I know you probably do because we talked about it before. But they have signs for the head coach's spots to park. And they didn't,
boy.
and they never would change the sign of the old coach when I first got there. So I took it upon myself to change my own sign. And I was out there in the summer putting up my sign with my name on it, and she walked up and she stopped and she looked, put her hand on her hip like
Oh
this.
my
Look, she
gosh,
said,
I can only imagine.
"That looks good."
Oh my gosh, that is so Malaysia.
And I said, "Boy, that's the best welcome. That is the best welcome I got at DeSoto."
Wow.
When you came up, and I didn't even know the little girl. I'm like, "She got a basketball," and I said, "Okay." And then from that point on, I think we became friends and we started talking
I
on the
would
regular.
speak to you every day.
Every day, right.
Wow.
Well, let's tell our viewers a little bit about what makes DeSoto girls basketball great. We'll start with you.
Well, personally, I feel like the coaching staff and the culture and the
Coaching
team
staff, you started with the
environment.
coaching staff, okay. And the culture.
She just wants to play on
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay.
That's why.
No, I do. I think they believe in us and they want us to be great and they want us to win. So I think they push us every day to do that. And I think they push us to have a good culture so that we can have like a good environment to play and just play together and just have a good team.
You know what? I piggyback on that. I think first of all, I had to speak to the Humble ISD boys basketball coaches from middle school to high school.
Wow.
Well, I was asked to this past fall before basketball season. And that was one of the points that I made. I said that if you want to know how to build a program, first of all, it starts with that coach. And it doesn't take much for kids to realize how quickly coaches care about you. And I think some of the things that I'm sure Coach does and other coaches you may have had before, it's just natural to them because they know what the making of a coach is. And the things that y'all think are the greatest of all time, they're saying, this is what I should be doing. And y'all understand that. And it's hard to fool kids. They know. They know. So what makes it great for you?
I feel like our will to win, we always want to come out and be competitive, but even when things aren't going our way, we always push to be better, push to do great things, push to win the game or come out in the end with a victory, no matter how or what it is.
How dire the situation is,
No
we still
matter
gonna
what.
win.
Oh, yeah.
And where does that start with?
I feel like it really started with our coaching staff, with all their experiences and where they've been. Because it's not a lot of people who win state championships, but we got a head coach that do, and
Right.
she knows how to win.
Right.
She knows what it takes, and I feel like that's really the reason why we're so great. Our buy-in is really strong.
Right. Well, she got a good product to sell.
So obviously these two will be playing on Friday. They will get to play in the game. Just want everybody to know. No,
All right.
I'm kidding.
Friday. So is this like a play-in game or something?
Well, it's a makeup game because Coach, we actually got invited to play in a tournament in the Bahamas this year.
Oh, we're not just traveling.
I know.
We getting out of domestic. We going international.
Man, I'm
To
telling
the
you.
Bahamas? How was that?
That was amazing trip. It was amazing. A great opportunity for all of us to experience that. It was awesome. It was really good for just women's basketball to be able to do that. But so we have to do a makeup game with Mansfield on tomorrow. So we're using it as a playoff warm-up
You know
game.
what? I had the Mansfield girls coaches, all of the coaches, the 4A and the 5A, the 5A and the 6A coaches on. And I asked her I said, so you played DeSoto tonight, right? She said, no, our game got moved back.
Yeah, that's why.
And I did know a little
Yeah.
bit about that. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, got a chance to do that. Wonderful experience.
All right, so what year did you make varsity? Sophomore, freshman?
Freshman.
You made varsity as
The end of
freshman.
your freshman year.
Freshman year.
Both of y'all, so
Yeah,
y'all
the
been on
end.
varsity. This is the fourth. Y'all veterans. She can just walk in the gym and she get on y'all when they ain't doing what they supposed to do
Yeah.
because y'all know.
Yep.
We
Okay.
came into high school together, and we gonna leave high school together.
Yep, they
Wow,
are.
y'all, man, you know what? I would be interested to find out how many wins y'all have total for your high school career. It's probably going to be maybe the most of any girl player because think about it, you've been on varsity since you were a freshman, and they went to state every year.
That's all they know.
You know what I mean?
They've never
How
ended
many
their career.
people play 4 years of basketball in high school and go to state every year?
Here?
You see what I'm saying? Y'all might want to check that. Y'all might be the most winningest girls players in the history of DeSoto girl basketball.
Coach Bacon, I can help you with that stat. Now, in the largest classification in Texas girls UIL history, the only time it's ever been done 4 times was when Mansfield was a one high school town and Aaron Grant played.
Aaron Grant, I remember
That's
Aaron
the only
Grant.
person ever
She's
in
saying-
the largest classification that has 4 years played the state championship game.
Okay,
Pretty special.
but then now I want to know total number of wins because they still could have won more because they
They
played.
can win more. Aaron had 106. They do have a chance at more.
Wow.
Yeah.
In
It's
college, I'm tied for the all-time most wins in my college career. I won 104, and then we had an All-American who went to the NBA and all that stuff. Let's move to the next question. So, since you guys have been on varsity since you were freshmen, been to state every year, 2 of those years of the 3 so far, well, we won when you were freshman and sophomore, right?
Yes, sir.
So last year as juniors, and we got to the finals,
And we lost.
came up a little short. I watched the game on television, sure did. So tell me what you guys took away from that game and that experience to drive you this year to get you back to this point because you're getting ready to start playoffs next week. Actually, when this shows, you'll be probably either played your first playoff game or getting ready to play your first playoff game. What was your motivation going into this season?
That I gotta leave a legacy behind.
Wow.
Like my 7 seniors did for me.
It's big.
That DeSoto is always gonna be great, and we're always gonna reach that highest level. And that when I leave high school, I want people to know who I am.
That's awesome.
It's kind of
So
like
proud of you.
I was trying to find the right moment to talk about these 75115s shirts everybody got on, and on the back it said something about legacy too, right?
Yes, sir.
That says if you know this zip code, you know what I represent.
Yes,
You don't have to say, you don't have to put DeSoto anywhere on there. You just say 75115.
yes, sir.
And it's funny because when I walked in and I saw all of the banners and all the names, and I challenged players when I was there and said, hey, you want to be legendary? You got to get up there. You can't just say I played at DeSoto. Yeah, a whole lot of guys can say that. But I heard also probably about 2 weeks ago, they say championships are remembered, but legends are never forgotten.
That's right.
So I said, I want to be legendary. If I want to be remembered, okay, but I want to be legendary. I don't ever want to be forgotten. And that sounds like what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
How did it motivate you after? Because that had to be tough to walk off of that court.
Yeah.
Because the expectations was, here's another one. We about to do 3 in a row.
Yeah.
It definitely, I think we did take it for granted, for sure. I think we were maybe like a little casual. We
Yeah.
definitely took it for granted. We thought we were just going to maybe like go in and, we don't want all these games now. Just got to win this one.
Right.
Take that moment.
We just took the moment for granted. So I think this year we're going to be more like, kind of like, focus on the mission and not thinking like, oh, we the better team.
Yeah,
We're
they're
going
just
to win,
gonna
because
guarantee
everybody
it.
plays different
Right.
depending on the circumstances. So I think that we're just going to have a different focus and not just think we're the better team, so we're just going to win. Or just things happen, we're just going to win. I think we're going to just play our game depending on us and not worry about if we're better than them, or if they lost this many games, or they don't do this, they don't do that. I think we're just going to be more focused on playing our game.
Because the best version of you is going to be better than anybody else anyway,
Yes.
right? There you go. There you go.
She's
That's good.
so emotional. Like,
That's good. Good stuff.
I've been around this kid so long. This is the most I've heard her talk.
All right, so what's the talk in the locker room now? We made it because you had a goal. You wanted to win district. Did that? Check
Yes,
out
sir.
boxes. Okay, check that off.
Co-district champs.
Well, and who's representing number one?
Well, we lost the flip, so they have the number 1 seed. We have the number 2 seed.
Just different place on the
That's
just
it.
different place on the bracket.
Yep.
And if y'all want to represent number one, that's fine.
That's fine
we
too.
Still, we gonna
Yep.
do
No
what we
problem.
got. No problem.
No
Okay.
problem.
So with all that being said, we got the memories from last year. We don't want that to happen again. We're more focused this year. Can I go and buy my ticket?
Hope so.
Just go and get my ticket to be down there. Okay. Well, if I don't buy my ticket now, which means I may not get one to get in. If I don't get in the game, just trust me, my heart is with you.
Yeah.
Want y'all to
And
know
I
that.
saw the price of those tickets on the floor, $138.67.
Hilarious.
And that's the best. And Coach gonna have the best seat in the house. Because the best seat in the house is on the sideline, Coach.
Yeah, but you know that
great
seat's
Robert
hot.
Hughes-
That's
yeah.
a hot seat.
Yeah, but the great Robert Hughes told me that. And I'll tell you what, Coach, I'll pay $167 to be there because now, being retired and going to games, I hate sitting in the stands.
Wow, I can only imagine.
Because I hear so many things that I couldn't hear down there
Coach.
that is ridiculous. I mean, we could be so biased. We could be so cruel.
Nothing's ever right up there, is it?
No. So you have actually the best seat in the house. I had it for 44 years.
Wow.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. I hate sitting in the stand. I try to find me a spot where I can sit and not have to listen to dumb comments or whatever, and then I can express and be who I want to be because I know sometimes people want to hear what you got to say. You know? So, but anyway, I have attended I think 3 of your games this year. I was over to Cedar Hill, and I was at the Mansfield games.
Okay.
I was at the Lake Ridge game, it was about a week or so ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind of going through a little bit. Had some injuries, some sicknesses, but I mean, they pulled it through.
Right.
We're battling. We always have adversity.
Well, Coach, while we were talking about the playoffs, could you go ahead and give us the details on the playoffs? Who we play, when, where?
Yeah, so we play next Tuesday, Harker Heights at West High School, 6:30.
6:30, West Texas.
West High School.
West High
Yep.
School in West.
Is it West Texas?
Yes,
West,
it's called
okay.
West. It's right there before you get to Waco, between Waco and Hillsboro.
Yeah,
Nice gym. We won a playoff game there a couple years ago.
yeah.
So
Good
yep.
food out there too, right? Isn't that the place where you get
That's
the
what,
kolaches?
Talk to Coach Miller. He knows.
Okay.
You know, Coach Miller knows all those spots.
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
Oh,
He can
yeah.
help you out with
Yeah.
that food stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yep, 6:30, Harker Heights.
6:30 Harker Heights. So if we do everything that we're capable of doing, follow the game plan, play at our best, we can bring another banner to the gym, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the goal.
That is the goal.
That is the goal.
One game at a time, but
One
it's the
game.
goal.
One game at a time. Yeah, right. One game at a time.
We
You
are
can't look past
capable.
Harker Heights,
Oh, no.
and then you get them one at a time. You can't play but one game at a time, so
Yeah.
focus one game at a time.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm so happy y'all were able to make it over here and be
No,
a part
thank
of this.
you. This was awesome. I'm so proud of them. This was everything
Thank you
just
for
to hear
having
them
us.
talk. Like, this was great.
Well, these are two of the girls
This is our foundation.
since day one at DeSoto, made me feel very, very comfortable. From the parking lot to no matter where I was. Even sometimes, she walks with her heads down like
Mm-hmm.
that. And even if she walks by me and get past me and realize she hadn't said anything,
Mm-hmm.
she'll stop and turn around and say, "Hi, Coach Bacon."
Really?
Yes. Coach Bacon, could you come unlock the locker room for me? You got to get you somebody else to unlock the locker room for you now.
Yeah.
Right? That's true? All right.
Wow.
Ladies, y'all got anything else you want to ask me or say to me, or something you want to share with the audience?
I miss you.
Miss you too. I do. I do miss some aspects of coaching, but it was just the right time. I think I had
get it.
You know, most people don't get a chance to pick how they leave, and being able to choose how I left was great because I don't know if I could have done any more. I came into the year needing 29 games to get to 700. That means we had to win a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
So I got that done. But coach, every game we lost, it made it had to be another game in the playoffs I had to win. So we get to the playoffs, I'm like, I gotta win my regional. I gotta get to the regionals, and I gotta win the regional semifinal game. And we were playing South Falls, who was huge. And we were like, man, we're gonna be able to beat them. Coach Wall drew up the most outstanding defensive scheme against them.
Wow.
And the final score in that game was like 34 to 31 or something.
Yeah, I saw that
It was
game.
real low scoring.
Wow.
But he had a defensive scheme that just really just shut them down, and we were able to win that one. So we got to 700 that night, and we knew we were going to beat either Klein Oak or Legacy. We felt like we were going to beat either one of those. And so when you have a 12, 14-point lead in the regional finals, you start feeling real good about it.
Felt real good.
So got to the Final Four, which made me whole. I don't know if y'all know this, but I've coached in a rural, inner city,
do.
and a suburban school.
know that about you.
And all three of them, I've helped them get to the Final Four. In the inner city school, we won 2 state titles at Lincoln, but we got, my first head coaching job was at a rural school, Seagoville. And we
So
got to
that
the
part of your
final-
career I don't remember, but I remember Lincoln and Richland.
Okay.
But I don't see girls.
Yeah.
I missed you on that one.
Yeah, but we didn't get to the Richland. I was hoping to be my suburban school to get to the Final Four, but we got to the regionals, but we never got to the Final Four. And then DeSoto was my suburban school that got to the Final Four, and then
Wow.
being chosen to coach the McDonald's game, and then
Drop
we
the mic.
won it. We won it. It was time. But I miss all the relationships.
Yeah.
I thought me and you had a great relationship working
Oh,
together,
absolutely.
and we never really had any.
Coach, you were easy.
Yeah, that's what she
You were
always told me.
easy. It was
She
easy.
was always, Coach, I want to, because I
Whatever
respect,
you want, Coach. Whatever you need. It
I
was so
respected what you
easy.
guys had going.
Yeah.
And I pay homage to history and greatness.
Wow.
You know,
Thank you.
and
That means a lot.
and I feel insulted when people sometimes want to say things about people who have done great things.
Wow.
Wait a minute, man, until you have done something like this, you can't say anything. You
I
have no
appreciate
right.
that.
Watching things on TV isn't always as easy as it looks.
Right, no. And sitting up there where the decision you make don't matter is way harder than sit down there where it does. And nobody gets scrutinized more than coaches twice a week during basketball season. Every Wednesday and Saturday, you're going to be scrutinized on how your team performs.
Yep.
And they don't even know that this girl's ankle was hurt or she was
Yep.
sick or her mom, sister passed. Or,
Yep.
they don't know that.
Yeah.
They just expect you to be your very best every time they see you.
Exactly.
And they only see you on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Or for them, these are young ladies, young kids, for them to be their best every single time. There's a lot of pressure on these kids.
I don't know how much of my podcast, I know y'all gonna watch now because you're gonna be on it. But if you go back and look through some of the guests I've had on there, I had a mental health therapist on. And I strongly suggest y'all watch that because she talks about how to deal with all these different stressors in your life as a student athlete. And it'll get you ready for college. It'll get you ready for these playoffs. Her name is Yumika Wright. Go back and look and listen to Yumika Wright. She got a lot of good stuff to tell you about what you can control and what you can't control, to dealing with this and dealing with that. It's tough being a student athlete.
Yeah. No, it is.
And she talks about coaching too, because that was my point. I wanted to make sure that we got that point out there about the stress that coaches go through. And I know last year we started having mental health days on our staff. We just said, hey man, y'all go home, no film, no nothing.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
home.
we do that.
Just keep you right,
Yeah.
because you can't. If you ain't right, they can't be right.
Exactly.
Coach Krill did say yesterday she had some gray hairs growing in.
Oh, no. Yeah. No.
All right.
But
Well, if y'all don't have any other questions, we're going to end this show. All right. This is the Passion Project with your host, Coach Richard Bacon. Today, my special guests are the DeSoto Eagles, head coach Andrea Robinson, And
Nisa Muhammad.
Malaysia Smith.
going to Old Dominion,
Tarleton.
Tarleton State. See you next time. Thanks.